we use high thin back braces on our guitars almost exclusively, and play any one of them. You know, whether you like it or not, it's alive. Okay. The contour of the arch of the back of a guitar or the top of a guitar has a great deal to do. I mean, if it's sprung, which is to say there's some tension in it, okay, it creates stability by the tension of the arch of either of those plates, okay? And so that's something that we utilize in terms of structural integrity, if you will, okay? And it has everything to do with being matched with how this thing works in terms of how stable the guitar is. The geometry of the way a guitar neck relates to the guitar body and the bridge and the top height has everything to do with how the guitar works, okay? And especially has to do with its stability. We look for, on our guitars, a certain range of bridge height, saddle height, and ultimately it comes down to string height. The height of the strings off the top of a guitar has, I'm tempted to say everything, and that's being a little bit, ostentatious here, but has a huge amount to do with the volume of the guitar. If you raise the strings, you get volume. It's that simple, you know. There are ranges in there, and this, of course, reflects on the unique nature of an individual guitar in terms of, you know, how big is the guitar. If you've got a little tiny parlor guitar, it's not really likely to be as loud as your, 18-inch super jumbo guitar. You know, it's just there's a lot of air to be moved there. But as a generalization, the more string height you have off the top of the guitar, the more you're going to get volume out of that guitar. There are things that can temper it. How heavily is how thick is the top plate? How heavily is the guitar braced? What is the scale length of the guitar? There's volume and there's perceived volume. And scale length, a punchy guitar with a longer scale length will seem to be louder to a lot of ears. Okay? It's not, if you put a meter on it, how many dBs you're getting out of this guitar, they might be the same, but your perception of the guitar with a longer scale length would be that it made for more noise. Okay? It would also have more sustain, and that creates a different impression in people's ears as well. But the bridge is another element. How much mass is there to a bridge? There are people, especially classical builders, who will tell you, I've got to get my gram scale. No, I'm not selling crack, I'm weighing my bridge, okay? And there are people who literally will just, I'm going to sand a little, literally, sand, 100 grit sandpaper to reduce the mass and the weight of the bridge in order to, they just believe this is the optimal thing. I'm not quite that far gone yet, but hey, if it works for you, I'm not going to question it.
Don't worry, Mike, you might get there eventually.
There are those who will tell you, Adam would probably tell you I'm moving in that direction. Anyway, I want to make a sawdust for a